All of You is out on Apple TV Plus, directed by William Bridges, starring Imogen Poots and Brett Goldstein, who also co-wrote the script. It's an indie drama taking place in a very slightly futuristic world where the only really futuristic element is the test. It's a scientifically proven method where you can take a DNA test and it matches you with the person who's supposed to be your soulmate and the love of your life, wherever they may be in the world. At the beginning of the film, we meet a pair of best friends from university, Laura and Simon. He drives her to take the test because she wants to do it. He's adamantly against it. She ends up finding the soulmate and starts a relationship, but it is painfully clear that the deep friendship that Laura and Simon share is not really just friendship. You only need to see the way he looks at her to realize at least he's in love with her. She's probably also having feelings more complicated than a simple friendship. And the story unfolds from there through a series of vignettes and conversations between the characters across multiple years of their lives. So I have to say, I really like this film. I think it's a solid exploration of these tragically unrealized loves that sometimes hide behind friendships, of situations that are complicated and painful and tragic, melancholic in a way, but at least also partly fulfilling in another. I do think it's got a stronger first half. The way the romantic tension builds up, sort of in the background, is fantastically done and very engaging. And once that tension is released for the very first time, about halfway through the film, it does lose a bit of steam, becomes a little repetitive and drawn out. But I think in the end, it manages to reach a satisfyingly bittersweet conclusion that, in some ways, reminded me of La La Land, and stays enjoyable throughout. I think a lot of the weight of the story rests on the two central performances, which are very good. The leads also have believable, natural chemistry. You do root for them, and you do want them to find some way out of the situation when even when there realistically isn't a good one. I also like the way the film looks and is edited together. Somehow, despite being just a series of conversations, either inside rooms or outdoors, somehow it is pleasing to the eye. The way these scenes are constructed and framed, it never gets boring, even though it easily could have. I liked it. I think it's a fairly mature film about love, although I wouldn't necessarily call it a romance, that doesn't judge its characters for their often morally questionable decisions and instead just presents their story in a believable, organic way. Solid stuff.